Hey everybody, Kimmel's Irish Pub. Star Wars: The Last Jedi. I have to admit, of course I went to the movies to see this. Big Star Wars fan from back when Star Wars was actually Star Wars and not The New Hope. Loved to have all the action figures. Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. Big fan. I'm not the crazy fans that continue today, but when I was a kid, I had the Darth Vader helmet with all the action figures. You know, I still have all the action figures. I had the Ewok Village. I had the Millennium Falcon. Gave that to my nephew. You know, all that stuff. Loved it, lived it. Kind of got away from it. Some people haven't, but that's okay. I really loved it. And the prequels, we all know, right? Then they started re-releasing these new, you know, post Return of the Jedi films. And they're good. They're a lot better than the prequels. I did like Rogue One. Big fan of that. I love that because it really led right into it. The Last Jedi, I've seen it. We have our faults with it, I know. But I'm going to get into it a little bit, talk a little bit about it. But this is post Return of the Jedi, or this is, you know, obviously. The first one was, whatever that one was, with Han Solo and everything like that, without Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker's in this. He was in the last one for, what did they say, 5 seconds or something like that, but he's in this one, so get into it a little bit. And well, first let's talk about IMDb has it at 7.5. Rotten Tomatoes 90% by the critics, only 48% of the audience, they didn't like it, and I know why. It's all about Luke Skywalker, I believe. So anyway, I'm gonna get into it a little bit more. I'll stop it every now and again. You might get more check-ins on this one, because it's a 2.5-hour movie and it's very interesting, I think. So I'll get into it. Enough chit-chat, I know. I'll be back in a bit. Hey everybody, quick check-in here. Star Wars: The Last Jedi, 55 minutes, 57 seconds. I had to stop it here because I want to do a quick check-in on a certain part where we're at. But let me catch up real quick. So, the First Order is attacking the Resistance. So the Resistance they're on a base with Princess Leia and Poe Dameron and Finn and BB-8. They're all there. Well, they're coming to attack them, so they're escaping where they're hiding out at their base, their Resistance base, and they're getting away. And then they kind of attack. There's a little battle going on, very intense. Very good opening scene, I think, for this Star Wars, and it's involving all the main characters, the new characters, and so what's happening there is they attack and they put a tracking system on the Resistance, on Princess Leia's ship, and so they're trying to deal with that. The First Order continues to find them and is trying to blow them up, and so Poe and Finn and another person that they meet along the way are trying to figure out a way to stop them from tracking them so they can get away from the First Order. That's what's going on, you know, in the main thing. Meanwhile, Rey, as we know, left, as we last left the 7th Star Wars 7, she's with Luke Skywalker on that island. And he is, you know, he's being very reluctant to speak with her or do anything. Chewie's also there with her. But he's up to the point where he's starting to show her what the Force is a little bit, a little glimpse into that, and you know what her powers are. So they're starting to build a little bit of a relationship there, and that's really what's going on so far. I mean, there's a lot more, but that's where we're at. The reason I stopped it here was because I thought it was interesting. So Finn and our new character, who he meets to help him find a tracker and disable it, they need to go find a code breaker. And I think it's interesting because the code breaker is at like this bar casino, and it's like not everyone, but a lot of these Star Wars have these scenes. If you remember, Luke Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi go into that bar, and that's where they meet Han Solo to find the Millennium Falcon, right? And then in the last one, they go to Mars. Is that what her name is? I don't know. She has a bar, but Han Solo goes there, and that's where, you know, they go there to find something, and that's where they find Luke Skywalker's lifesaver. And so it's always like that. Now here they have to come to the casino bar and find this code breaker. So it's like very similar points throughout the plot line. I can say that as I'm watching this, I'm enjoying it, but I think this is probably better for the younger generation, because it used to be this way kind of guy. I want to see Luke Skywalker and Han Solo and Princess Leia. I wish they would have made this series, as great as they are, a lot better than the prequel. I wish they would have made these series right after Return of the Jedi, or maybe a little gap, not this long of a gap that they're older and it's a completely different story. But I mean, it's the same thing. Like Snoke is the Emperor, and Kylo Ren is Darth Vader. And they're stormtroopers. It's very similar storyline with a couple of subtle differences and not having the main characters. But I talked a little bit about how I'm a pretty big fan. I'm a big fan of the original three. Not as big as some people, I know, but there's one thing that I don't think you've seen yet. I've given a tour of the man cave, the movie room, the bar, even coming down the steps. And as I went back and I watched it, there's something that is missing, and I want to go ahead and show it to you right now. So hang on, let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so if you've watched my tour, you've probably seen this. This is the entryway to go down to the man cave. And you see me go down the steps, as so. But what's not seen is if you look up here. Right here is the crawl for Star Wars coming down the steps. And you can see it right there. And this was the brainchild of my wife. She said, wouldn't it be cool if you got those Star Wars words coming down the steps down into the man cave? And so she actually painted it all. We bought the crawl online, and she actually hung it. So if you're interested in this, let me know. I'll show you where I got it. What I'd recommend though is that I got the gold. And it's a little dull. I know it doesn't look too dull here, but I would get the yellow if I were you instead of the gold. It comes even with like TIE Fighters and the Millennium Falcon and everything like that. And then da da da, the Star Wars poster. So I mean, there's other posters and things like that. And then you just come down into the man cave. So this is where we come down here. So that's just a quick glimpse on So yeah, that's just one of the quick glimpses of my part of being a fan of Star Wars. I thought that was pretty neat, and I thought it was a great idea from my wife, and she did excellent work. I just stayed out of her way, and she made that happen. So that's it. I wanted to show you that. I'll get back into the movie again and see if anything else interesting happens and catch you up. All right. Hey everybody, I want to do another quick check-in here. We're at the 1 hour, 45 minutes and 9 second mark, and the reason I stopped it here, I don't think this is too much of a spoiler, but I'm going to tell you a little bit more. I know I set it up and then I tell you, let me catch you up. Really nothing has changed on the plot line. So Princess Leia and the Resistance are still trying to get away from the Star Destroyer that has been tracking them and waiting for them essentially to run out of gas so they can blow them up. And they're still trying to wait, and Finn and the other character, Rose, I believe, are trying to get back and get the code breaker so they can disable the tracker. That thing is still going on. Nothing has really changed there except for what they're trying to do. And then, as I mentioned, Rey went to see Luke Skywalker and tried to get him to help. She eventually, and during this time, she has been, I was going to say FaceTiming with Kylo Ren, but they're connecting and they're seeing each other and speaking. And so she leaves and goes to meet Kylo Ren because she thinks she can flip him to the good side. But they go to where Snoke is. So that's the whole point I wanted to bring this up. So she's going in front of Snoke now with Kylo Ren. And if you've seen the other movies, you might have seen this before, where Skywalker was in front of the Emperor and Darth Vader was there. You might have seen that somewhere, some time before. I'm not sure when that happened before, but even during that scene, it was in Return of the Jedi, I know you've seen it, that scene, the Emperor points out the window or whatever of the ship where, at the time, the rebels were fighting, Darth Vader, well, not Darth Vader, but the dark side outside. So now, it's the same thing. He opens almost like a mirror kind of thing, or something, that she looks outside and she sees the Star Destroyer blowing up the Resistance ship. It's the same scene. It's just different actors and actors. Instead of the Emperor, it's Snoke. Instead of Darth Vader, Kylo Ren. Instead of, oh yeah, she's not a Skywalker, but instead of Luke Skywalker, it's Rey. I forgot, she's not really a Skywalker. But yeah, it's the same thing. So I wanted to stop here and quick jump in and share that with you. I'm also, as I see it again, this is the second time, we're an hour and 45 minutes and they really haven't done anything. You expect a little bit more, I don't know, maybe more moving around. The main plot line is about the Star Destroyer killing the Resistance, and that's been going on for over an hour and 45 minutes now. At least Rey has just left Luke Skywalker and has moved to a different location in the movie, so that has a little bit of change to it, but everything else is the same. So didn't realize they ran this storyline for so long in this movie. But I'll get back into it. Maybe something more interesting will happen, and I'll catch you up. Thanks. Okay, that's it. We're at the credits here, and I watch now. This is the second time I watch it, like I said, and I kind of get it. I get why the users have such a low rating. I mean, I still enjoyed it. I think this one was much better. The way they really tried to get back to the roots of Star Wars so much that they just repeated all of those movies. There's even a part where, so they've been chasing them, they get to this planet, or station, I don't know, whatever it is, but it's like, I think it's salt, or they're trying to make it salt, but it looks like snow. And there was this one movie that I saw where they were on a rebel base, and they were coming after the rebels, and it was all in snow. It was Empire Strikes Back, yeah. But they repeated it again here. They're coming to attack the Resistance base that they just got to, and it seems like it's all in snow. So again, but they got back to the roots, the way the action was, even though it was all one big long scene. The way that they brought humor back into it, which was good. I thought that was nice. So I did. I enjoyed the way the film was, and it's kind of hand-offing to the new set of characters. And I like that. The music, it just takes you right back. All of that stuff I really enjoyed. And I know I'm also a traditionalist, maybe, and that's one of the things I have a hard, I don't want to see a passing of the torch. I want the torch to stay lit, and my main characters that I grow up with, I want them to be young again, and I just want to see it, but I know we're not going to get that, and they did the best they can, but there's still some holes in this. I thought the whole movie plot is just one long chase. It's not, I don't remember being like that in any of the other movies, except for Rey. She hops around slightly from the island back, but there's not much else there. The other thing, C-3PO and R2-D2 are in this film, but they're not really together. They show like one scene where they're together, and it's like, well, why are they not? Like, they were such, the Laurel and Hardy of the Star Wars thing throughout the entire thing, and now they don't have them together anymore. So I don't know, maybe I'm forgetting something or missing something there. I like the introduction of BB-8, and that's the whole handoff, passing of the torch thing, but, they're in the film, put them together, have them do something more important. So, I might have to, I know I've gotten the word that I might give too many 7s, but this might be a 7. Going into it, I think it's going to be a 9 or a 10, maybe even an 8, but there's just so much more, and I don't want to give any spoilers, so I'll probably do another open discussion for you, so that we can talk freely, and bring those spoilers out. Right now I don't want to do that, so I'm going to leave it at this. So if you haven't seen it yet, thanks for tuning in. You can tune out, and I'll see you next time on Kimmel's Irish Pub. Alright, I'm back. Like I said, we're going to do a little open discussion. So I opened up a beer so we could discuss a little bit more with, talking a little bit more openly about the movie. So, again, you've seen the warnings. We will talk about the actual movie. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, you can stop here. But, okay. So, I talked about how they went to this planet or something like that, and they're fighting on salt or snow. And when they step on it or move it, it turns red. And, I don't read anything else. I'm just watching the movie on my own. It's like, what's the significance of this? Why are they doing this? And it seems like when they battle, when Luke is in his final battle, they kind of show his foot once, and he moves, and it doesn't move the salt. Kind of giving you a hint that, he's just a mirage. Or a hologram, if you will, or something like that. Whatever he was doing, he was just there, not really there. And I'm thinking to myself, is that really the reason they did this whole fight on salt or on snow, so that they could show that one part where his foot doesn't create the redness and give you the hint that he's actually, creating a hologram for everybody to see. So I thought that was odd. But then I think that we could talk about the elephant in the room, and I think what everybody else didn't like about this film was the way that they portrayed our hero, Luke Skywalker. I understand, the reason he went and hid on the island. I'm okay with that. But I can't believe that he couldn't be convinced to come back and help the Resistance fight. Sure, he came back in mind, but not in body. And I think that's what disappoints everybody, including me. I mean, Han Solo comes back, and if you remember back in the day, Han Solo didn't care about that. He just wanted to get his riches, and move on. But then he can, he changes, and he comes back at the end, and he's a big hero. They don't have to do that kind of thing, but how could Luke Skywalker not join the fight with his sister and fight for everything that he did throughout all of those years? It's so disappointing. And then the other piece of how he dies. So he dies, he just dissolves. And, just disappears after he does his mind trick. Okay, you helped out a little bit. You paused them so that they can escape, which is great. But, I mean, he's got to die in a more honorable way. I mean, the Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Darth Vader death, Han Solo, the way that these people died, they are, some of them, they're martyrs. And, Luke Skywalker is not. I mean, you can't say that he, created a hologram and then died because he thought so hard and therefore he's a martyr. No, he's played off as a coward, as weak, which is not what we thought of Luke Skywalker. And that's the ultimate disappointment of this movie. And that's why I gave it a 7. Again, everything else is good about it. It's just that part that really just, why can't he come back and have one last battle? Or however, there's so many different ways you could have written that ending. Or not even the ending. Why couldn't he just come back when Rey came and got him? Have him teach her the Force, and then the both of them show up, and whatever happens, happens. He doesn't have to go up against Snoke. He can go against, Kylo Ren. That's great. But that's, I think, the biggest thing. And that's why I wanted to have this open discussion, because I think they failed in a lot of ways. I thought they did great in a lot of ways in bringing it back to the roots, as I had mentioned, and the music and stuff like that. But the fact that they had one plot line, they chased the whole movie, and then it's over with small subplot lines. Very, very disappointing. I do like the fact that they left it open. The kid with the broom, okay, great. Rey, she's going to be the next Jedi, great. They all live to see another day. But you also think about it too, when you think about everything that Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Princess Leia went through in New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. I will always call it Star Wars. And they finally defeat them, but it doesn't work because now the dark side comes back anyway. So they're going to probably defeat them in 9, and the Resistance will win ultimately, but then, what does it matter, because they're all going to come back again anyway. I don't know. But yeah, I don't want to go on any further, but I did want to have this open discussion with you to talk about the disappointment of Luke Skywalker. You know, that's really, I think, what all the fans, that's why the ratings are so low. And, you know, wish they would have consulted me again. Hey Jeff, we're ready to release, you know, The Last Jedi. Why don't you give it a look-see and give us your feedback? And I would have told them that's a mistake. So, alright. That's it. That's all I wanted. I wanted to get that off my chest. I'm sure you wanted to hear about it too, but I didn't want to tell everybody else who hasn't seen it yet. I wanted to save it for the open discussion. So I'm going to drown my sorrows, and I'll see you next time. Kimmel's Irish Pub.